Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a small text bounce up and down above an object when you go near it. Let's get started. So firstly, what you want to do is you want to go into your project. So I just made a quick one. This is what I'm going to use for my tutorials. As you can tell, I've got the name tutorials. So what you want to do is, I'm using the first person template from Unreal Engine 5.6, but this works in any, obviously. So firstly, what you want to do is you want to make a blueprint class. It's been a long time since I've done a tutorial, guys, so I do apologise if I'm a bit quick, but I'm going to try slow it down. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. So firstly, make your actor blueprint and call it BP and then whatever you want to call it. So mine's going to be small box because mine will be a small box. Open it up, and then when you're in here, stay in the viewport for a minute because there's a few things we need to do. So firstly, we need a actual mesh that we need to go up to. So I'm going to use a cube, so head up to components, click add, and then add your static mesh. If you want to do a static mesh, then you can just search static mesh, then change the static mesh in here. That is up to you. So for example, you can use NPCs for that with skeletal meshes. You can basically use anything because it doesn't actually depend on the object. Next, you want to click add again, and then go to collider. So you've got three different ones you can use here: sphere, capsule, or box. I'm going to use sphere just because I think this one works a bit best. And if you are following along with the sphere, I recommend changing the radius of the sphere, not the actual scale, because the scale will make it a bit more jagged on the edges, and as you can see, it's a bit more smoother here. So once you got that, then we want to actually add the text that we're going to be changing. So let's just compile, save. Make sure you're doing that all the time. If you are fed up with clicking compile then save, you can always go to the three dots, save on compile, then always, or on success only. On success only can save you from a few crashes because, you know, Unreal Engine is notorious for that. But let's add a new text. So search text renderer. Now, I'm leaving all my names as they are just because this is obviously a tutorial one. I don't need to change them, but obviously I recommend changing the names of your objects in your components, sorry. So, yeah, make sure you rename some of these if you need to. So, what we're going to do is we're going to hover over the text, we're going to select it in our components tab, and we're going to change it to the alignment, horizontal to be center, and then vertical alignment, I'm going to do text center, just so it's a bit more neater. I'm also going to change this as well, so it's red, so it's easy to see. Now, obviously, you can see, as you can see, it's always in the object. So lift it up above the object, set it to where you want it to be based at. So as you can see, mine is currently based at 60 or 70. I'm going to say 70. Now remember what you change it to. If you forget, you can come up to this one, the very top right one. The Z being 70 on your location. You will need this. Now, we've got everything set up visually here, so let's head over into the event graph. So we're going to need neither of these, but we're going to need event tick, so just be one of that. But we're not going to do that one yet. We're going to work on a different bit down here first. So firstly, what you want to do is you need to create some variables that we'll use later. So the first one, just click the add on the variables and do bounce height. So this will be how high your text will bounce, and then change the type to float, and then compile, save, and then bounce height. So I believe mine is 25 on my other one that I did in my actual game. Then remember to compile and save, and then add a new one. Again, it's a float, and then base Z. So remember when I said you'll need that other one, or that number from earlier, so you'll need that here. So obviously if you forget, you can go text renderer, and it'll be the top right one. So mine will be 70. Now compile and save, and now finally we get onto the blueprints. Just a bit of setup, not too much. If you click on the sphere, scroll down to the events, click the on component begin overlap. So this is when something walks into it. You can obviously change this so you make sure that it's only a certain actor that overlaps, but I'm not going to bother with that. Obviously, if you do want to bother with that, you'll have to use like overlap component and stuff like that to make sure you are doing the right one. Now, so drag off of the pin and go, so you can do set visibility and look for the one in brackets that says text renderer, because the text renderer is what we want to be changing the visibility of, or you can drag the text renderer in and then go set visibility. That has actually reminded me, we have forgot a step. I do apologize. So head over to text renderer, and then on the visible one, just tick that off. You don't want that visible at the start of everything. So tick that off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set visibility to true, because this is where we're going to be turning on the text when we get close. Now drag off of this, and this is the annoying part. I hate timelines, always have. But just drag off and go timeline, and then add timeline. So we're going to name ours the bounce timeline. I'm going to do bounce TL. And you need to open this one up. And then once you've opened it up, it'll open a new window. Head over to the top left of the little window that's opened and click track, add float track. You don't need to change the name, that's fine. And then if you click anywhere on here, so for example, I'm going to do mine as 1 second, because I'm going to change the length so the timeline is only 1 second. Right click and click add key to float curve 0. And then I do this 3 times in total. You'll get 3 nodes. Now what you want to do is you want to go to the first one, set the time to 0, set the value to 0, set this one to, set the middle one, sorry, to 0.5 at the time, and the value to 1. And then on the last one, set the time to 1 second and value to 0. Now obviously you can see it looks a bit spiky, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on this middle one, right click it and click auto. And then down on this bottom left one, we're going to do the same thing, and it will make it a bit more smoother. So we're going to compile, save, and we can close out of that now. So as you can see, we've now got an output node here. You can rename this, obviously. If you want to rename it, you just change the name of this here. And then, so what we want to do is on update, we need to update our relative location, because that's what we're going to be changing. So we're going to go to up here to our text renderer, and we're going to go set relative location, because that's the one we need. Now we're going to plug that into update. Now what you want to do is right click on new location and click split struct pin. I'm going to put my text renderer here. We're going to need a bit of space here because we're going to have to do some multiplication. So drag off your new track and do multiply. And now drag your bounce height, which we made earlier, and put that into the other section. Then do add, and then add your base Z to that, and then plug that into Z location. So that is all good for that. It should now pop up when we walk close to it. Now click on to sphere. I'm going to try to go a bit more quickly because I realise this video is a bit long. So go on to end overlap, and then you want to just set the visibility. So you can copy and paste this down here. Set the visibility to false. So that's as soon as we walk away, that's done. Now remember the event tick. Don't worry if you've deleted it like that. You can just right click and go event tick. Now you want to set the world rotation of the text renderer. So drag the text renderer in, set world rotation, because basically at the moment it'll just be facing this exact way it was, and we don't want that. We want to be able to we want it to be updating at all times, because we want it to always be facing the player so it's easily readable. So we're going to right click and go get player character, not controller, character, make sure it's character. Then get actor location, like so. Then we're going to drag these a bit over here. And then we're going to get the actor location. So we've got 2 get actor locations. One is for the player character and one is for this one, the self. Now we're going to right click here and go find look at rotation, and plug the start into there and the target from the player actor, and then put that into new rotation, compile and save, and it should be all done. I'll zoom out a little bit so you guys can see it. I'll leave this on screen for a second. There you go. Hopefully you were able to pause and check that you got everything done right. Now head over to your first person level, and we will place our small box over here. So we're going to save and go in. We're going to walk up to it. It's a bit of a weird character. I didn't realise it was so weird. We'll go up to it, and there you go. We've now got text like that. But as you can see, it's now not working. We have forgot one little step. So it shows up once, which is already done because we first overlapped. little mistake from me there, and that's to do with the timeline. So we go back into the timeline, and we want to click this little button here that says loop. This means it will go over and over and over again to make sure it carries on bouncing. And while I'm in here, might as well go to the text renderer and just rename it in the details panel to small box, which obviously, as you've seen, is not a very small box, it's quite a big box. But we're going to head over to here, and there you go. Now it is bouncing smoothly. Obviously you can change how fast it bounces, where it bounces. It doesn't even have to bounce, it could do whatever you want. It could do a spin, it can do whatever you feel like doing. But that is how to make a small text box bounce. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I do apologise if it was a bit long. But yeah, I haven't done a tutorial for a while, and hopefully I can get back to making tutorials. I wanna do a series at some point, but I want to make sure I've got a good series planned. I don't want to just freeball it and then just give up on it. And hopefully I don't corrupt my files again, and I can stick to it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully it helped, and I will see you in the next one.